So I was just recording, except I wasn't recording, I was talking to myself. I was saying I just got this new light and it's really bright, but at least I can see what I'm doing now. And also I got the Dungeons and Lasers Townsfolk miniature pack at the UK Games Expo. I got it because there's a lot of guards and things like that in there and things that I can populate the village with. So it's a really good pack actually. And I also got my paints. So these are the Vallejo. Basically what they are is you get a base coat, which I've just put on this guy. You then get a wash in the exact same colour, and then you get a highlight in the same colour as well. So really eager to try it out. I tried it out the other day just on a little miniature, but it wasn't a very good miniature. Giving him some blue metal. We decided to go with blue and painting this little girl as well. It's like a little Red Riding Hood type figure. This is a commander, maybe a flag bearer. Bear with me, but this is the first time I think that I've ever painted a miniature on camera. I'm hoping that this little DJI Action 4 captures it. It's really weird trying to paint and remember to keep it in the frame of the camera as well. Now, I'm not an expert, not by a long stretch of the imagination when it comes to miniature painting. Actually, this isn't the first time, because as I just said, I've painted one of those miniatures that we got from the Games Expo, and I did a little bit of filming in the hotel room, which was even more awkward than me filming here in the Apple Shack. One thing you might notice is that there's no undercoat, there's no base coat, and I've not put base coats on miniatures for a long time. What I tend to do is not bother, because I don't see the point. When I paint, especially when I'm painting resin, 3D printed resin figures, the paint kind of soaks in and it just doesn't scratch off. I don't know if it's because, I'm cleaning them really well, or I don't think it is. I think it's just the nature of the material. It's porous, so the paint sort of soaks in, it keys in, even without any base coat, without any sort of like primer. But I've never had an issue with it. But the other thing that I do, if I am a little bit worried, I just put some varnish on. I just put some matte varnish all over. I use the Vallejo matte varnish because that's really good. I use it for a lot of stuff actually. I use it when I'm doing flocking and things like that. It's brilliant. It's what I used to do the mud in the rat warrens. So this isn't a painting tutorial. This is just me having a go. And I think my focus is not to teach people how to become brilliant painters or anything like that. It's more, I think, of encouraging people who wouldn't normally pick up a paintbrush to just have a go. I'm putting on a little bit too much here, but this is the wash. So rather than just lash it all over, I'm just going to put it in, sort of like paint it in the creases or where I think the shadows might be. I'm not sure if this wash is just a blue wash or whether it's got some metallics in it or not. Difficult to tell when you're already painting over something that's metallic, but it certainly doesn't seem to kill the metallics. So sometimes when you put a wash on metallics, it kind of takes the colour out of it, or takes the shine out of it, should I say. But this doesn't seem to be doing that, which makes me think it's got a gloss to it, but also maybe it's got some metallic in it. I'm not sure. When I'm painting, I'm thinking about what colours I do first, and I wouldn't normally do this first. I wouldn't normally do the metallics first. I'd normally pick out all these like little bits because they're going to be really difficult to paint without getting it over all the metallics. But I was being impatient. I just wanted to see what the metallics look like. Lovely blue colour. I really like it. Then we can start putting highlights on. Dab of that. And at the moment just painting the Tudor house. What we're trying to do is get a real thick texture in this. So we're putting the paint on quite thick, which is buff, and then the white, and sort of mixing it in, getting it on there really. And then we're going to go over with black just to neaten everything up. But this texture is to try and make it look like the old Watland door that's had a bit of whitewash on it, and then it's all faded and that. So I think it's actually a really nice effect. I don't know how it's coming through on the camera. Sometimes, you know, when you're looking at it on a big screen, it looks, you can see every single little paintbrush, but typically with the buildings, when they're on there, when they're on, you know, you're seeing them more at that sort of distance. So it's about getting that overall appearance. You're not going in like you are with miniatures and getting the little fine edges and stuff. Especially when you've got loads and loads of buildings to paint, you just need to figure out how to just whack it down, get it on there. And it's better to do that and have some half decent painted models on the table than no models on the table, because you're taking too long about painting them. That's the way we see it, because you can always go back, so you get the rough idea and, you know, the colours and everything that you want, and then you can always go back and tidy things up later on. I'm going to carry on with this guy and do the highlight. So this one says light on it, look, so that's the, oh god, I had the lid off when I was doing that. I was thinking, why is it making that squeaky noise? Shiny blue. So now the idea of this is just to pop it on where the light would be falling. It's going to be on all the tops. Try and get some edge highlighting on that little pokey out bit of his breastplate. What I should probably do is thin it down and just layer it up a little bit. Lots of little thin coats. Ever so gradually just building it up. Oh, I really like that. I'm a big fan of these paints already. With some brown shoes, etc. He's going to look quite good. These are the colours. Greenish gold, arcane gold, rusty metal, metal Jericho, whatever the hell that means, obsidian black, I've got a sterling silver there, and this one imperial gold, ancient copper. What arcane gold would look like. It might be a bit too much. I like the idea of this one, rusty metal. That's quite cool. Let's try a bit of rusty metal on him. With his bright blue armour, I don't think he'd have rusty metal weapon, but it looks nice. Yeah, I mean it's called rusty metal, but it looks more like a bronzy colour to me. This also feels a little bit more watery, like it hasn't been mixed enough. I didn't really shake it, did I? I shook it half-hearted and then took the lid off halfway and then shook it again, which is the perfect way to open a new pot of paint. It's because I'm a professional. I quite like that. That kind of goes quite well with the blue. I was going to do her blue as well, but now I'm thinking I might paint her armour this colour and then give her a nice blue cape, and the cape will stand out a little bit more then. I usually have a couple of miniatures get on the go at a time. I don't just paint one. I'll do a bit of one, and then while I'm waiting for the paint to dry or the wash or whatever I've done on one, then I'll jump onto another one and do a bit of that. It's a really nice colour, isn't it? Sometimes when I'm painting or doing something like this, I'm filming, I always imagine, like, I always think of other YouTubers that do like painting tutorials that I've watched over the years, and I then imagine them watching me and them just crying to themselves, like watching what I'm doing, butchering it, and just thinking, what are you doing? Please stop. Well, I'm not going to stop, because you know why? I enjoy it, and it's really, painting models like this is really therapeutic. Well, it's for me anyway. With all the stresses and strains of the day, all the things that go on in life, it's just a nice moment just to sit down, relax, forget about all that crap that goes on, all the difficulties of work and the rest of it, and just lose yourself in a little model. Oh, this is why I like using these, especially with my clumsy hands. In fact, I probably will Take him out of there. There's the other one I'm painting. This little girl. Does she need any metal? Don't think so. She's got like a little bracelet thingy on. Give her a little bit bling. I don't know what she's got in her basket. Looks like a severed head. It'll make for a good campaign. Got to escort the little girl with her little basket.
Hey, Red Riding Hood.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we've been doing some updates on a few of the builds that we got, obviously, which I said about before. B, my son, he's done a trial, I guess, like for the trial chambers. We're going to be putting that in, and we're going to make it into sort of like a PDF, and it's basically, I'm going to build the actual trap or trial to what he's designed, which is basically a room with lots of little pressure plates, but the pressure plates have all got numbers, or letters rather, on them. And so I'm going to do it in such a way that they sort of like click into place as you click them. So if you stand on the wrong one, it will click and drop, and then a trap will be set off. So, and you've got to make your way across this board of various tiles. So there's like a riddle sort of thing, and if you solve it, then you can spell out what you think the answer is, and if you get it right, you don't fall down to your death. Well, not necessarily your death, but fall down and land on a nasty trap. So it's pretty good actually, the way it's way he's designed it. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to add it into the trial chambers bundle. That one snapped off all right. I'll try it on this guy because he'll be dried properly now. I'm just going to lash it on this one. Yeah, seems a bit thicker, this wash. Maybe that's intentional because it's rusty metal. Maybe it's supposed to look a little bit more streaky and grimy. I wonder if she's dried enough. What do I do first? This bit here. It's cool, I like that. But that's enough for today. I think with this channel I'm just do a bit of everything, so you never know what you're going to get. I like to do different things, change it up a little bit. So trying out some new paints. I can just see her stood on top of the castle and the battlements.
Yeah.
This guy is going to be stood by the drawbridge, I guess. He looks a little bit posh really to be, but anyway. And then she'll be off looking for some werewolf or something. Right, that's it for today guys. Cheers, see you in the next one.